Hey everybody, it's Brownment Horror back again with installment number 3 of Behind the Horror. We are here today with writer-director Sasha Sibley and his star of his latest film, The Box, Mr. Graham Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, if you want to wave the crowd for us. There he is. Look at that face. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us. RL and myself are so excited to have you here. RL is working again this week remote, and I'm like I said, I'm here in Nashville. You guys are Graham. Where are you at? You're in LA, right?
LA, yeah.
And Sasha?
I'm in Maryland right now with my mom.
Maryland. All right. Cool deal.
Yeah.
So we're all over the place. Thank God for technology bringing us all together during this time. Able to do this kind of stuff. So, wow, how would we like to start first is, Sasha, you're the writer and director of this awesome film that RL and I thoroughly enjoyed watching, which we had to skip back several times and rewatch certain parts because we were like, this is really good. There's a lot of symbolism here. You know, we're going to have to expound on some of that. I made some notes. First off, just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into filmmaking, writing, a little bit of a background. Tell us who Sasha is.
Yeah, I started. I became interested in films, I think, at a very early age, probably like 5 years old. And so I feel like I've always had a camera in my hand, in one way or another, just sort of exploring the visual art form and storytelling. But yeah, in terms of like, you know, I think once I was like a teenager, I was like, okay, I want to do this as a career. I want to be a film director. So I made it my aim to go to Hollywood. And that's kind of, you know, what this movie is about in a way. So I went to Loyola Marymount. So I went there for like 4 years. I actually graduated during the pandemic, which was fun, or very interesting at least. I'm actually in the process of moving, hence the box is behind me. But I am moving back to LA after like a 1 year hiatus back on the East Coast where I'm originally from. So yeah, somewhere in that rambling, maybe you get a sense of me. But yeah.
Right on, man. And you're fairly young too. I mean, that's not a bad thing. We're stating a fact here. We're spitting facts. This is, if you don't mind, telling your age. Is that okay?
Yeah.
How old are you, Sasha?
No. I'm 23.
Oh God. I mean, 23.
So yeah, I graduated
folks.
last year.
Dude, he's 23. When we made this film, he was 20. Like,
Jesus,
insane.
20 years old with the elderness of a Martin Scorsese mind.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. I just have to like jump in and just be like, the film that Sasha made is one thing, but the fact that like when I met him after the audition, and I don't want to be jumping anything, but it was the fact that the ambition that he had it's like, you know, you don't get that a lot. And so it completely draws you in and you go, I'm completely whatever you need. Like I'm there, you know, you can just kind of see where certain people like are going and what they want to, you know, and they have that focus. It's kind of rises all ships, so to speak.
right?
Oh yeah. We see a lot in Sasha, and we look forward to seeing more work from you. We're definitely going to be following you and promoting you, and whatever you need from us. Keep us posted. Keep us sending us messages. I mean, I'm sure we'll be in contact with Shari from Midnight Releasing. She's the one that put us all together. Give her a big shout out. Thank you so much, Miss Shari.
Dude, she's the best.
Yeah,
for sure. RL, you want to take over?
Yeah, man. So Graham, I mean, you know, watching this film, one of the things that stood out the most to us, and one of the things that we were discussing before you guys jumped on, was that, you know, there's a lot of movies out there that are kind of mind screwy as much as this one is. But I mean, I think one of the things that, you know, was awesome about this film was that, you know, when you watch the audition tape of him and when he goes in, like the way that you fell into character, the way, I mean, I feel like you just fit this role perfectly. You know, what got you and Sasha together? How did you guys meet? And then, you know, what did you think about this film whenever you were about to just jump, you know, head first into this thing? What did you think about it, and how'd you guys get together and make it work?
Well, I kind of, Sasha, correct me if I'm misremembering, but I feel like we had an in-person audition, and I came in and I forget which scene I read, but it was one of those rooms where we're completely on opposite sides. It was like the first Batman or something, where like you're Batman, I'm gonna be Vicky Vale, of course. But we're like across the room, and I mean, you know, I'd take Michelle Pfeiffer, but I said the first one. So.
That's the salt.
But, yeah, exactly. The what? But so we're across the room. We do the audition, and you call me back. There was another kind of reading, but the biggest thing, like I kind of previously said, was the fact that I don't know if you still want to attach yourself, or like if you just have a new favorite director or anything, but you told me I want to be the next James Cameron. And right from then I was just like, I'm in. Like, it's really easy. I'm a huge anime fan. And the biggest thing that I love about that is that everyone in those shows like give it their all. It's kind of like, it's very nerdy, but like everyone, like if they do one thing wrong or they just have a goal, it's just like, it's a complete thing on, you know, on either spectrum of emotion. But I love that. And so you don't get that a lot, especially out in LA. So the fact that Sasha had so much ambition and so much vision drew me in. And honestly, the script was great. You know, every single day on set was very interesting. But it's not till you see it all put together, as Sasha, I'm sure, you know, you've lived with this film too. It's not till you see it put together that you really kind of realize what you were a part of. So for me, every day was just like,
Graham is so taken by like that statement he just made, he completely cut out.
Graham's gone.
Graham, come on back to us and say that again for us.
Graham, you're muted.
no.
Now, Graham, damn it, we haven't had to edit any of these videos yet, okay?
I know.
Don't you start with us.
I'm gonna be the worst.
We'll be sending this over to Sasha to edit for us later today, and then
you'll be composing the music too, right?
We need to put the old Jim Cameron touch on this, okay?
Exactly.
But yeah, no, he was just the best, and I think it was just a step-by-step process for me. I try to just look at, you know, what happened before the scene, and just go from there.
Well, yeah. If I can say something, and this is free flowing, and we'll go back and forth between RL and myself real quick. Watching this, RL and myself, we have engulfed ourselves in indie films and indie horror specifically. We primarily watch horror films, and not to say that this was in depth, a big horror film. This wasn't a slasher or a monster movie or anything like that. Right. This is more of a mind horror kind of film to us. It got me thinking, you know, what life would be like, you know, given the circumstances to myself. But let's just start here. Where did the concept for this film come from, man? I mean, you're 20 years old. I mean, I feel like this might have been a real life struggle for an actor. I could totally see that. But where did this concept come from? We got a Walt Disney.
I mean, I think it's sort of what's that?
You got frozen for a second, and I said we have a Walt Disney.
shoot. Am I frozen now?
No, you're good, man. Trust me,
Okay,
people love
yeah.
this. Keep going.
Calls. Yeah, no, I feel like so the inspiration to me was sort of, I mean, it is sort of like my life in a way. It's that sort of you know, I feel like every film that a director makes is probably personal in some way. This one is like especially personal, but you always sort of push it a bit more, like you push it a bit further than reality just to make it entertaining, obviously, because real life is sort of not exciting enough to be a movie. So I feel like I approached it from that angle. I was like, you know, I've faced a lot of rejections in life, like just starting when I was a teenager and doing short films that didn't get into any festivals, or like just things like sort of not working out. And you're like, oh, I thought this was gonna be something, and then it just didn't materialize, or you know, there's a lot of struggle in the artistic process because you're especially when you're young. I don't think which, and I am young, I'm still sort of in this process. And I think you're always in a process of sort of course correcting and finding your voice as an artist. So all that is to say, like, I think it was sort of about that. And then I just sort of extrapolated that. And then I was like, well, what's kind of a cool idea that could be a personal movie? And I chose to make it about an actor rather than a filmmaker, because I just thought that would be like more immediately accessible. And I wanted to do something a little bit surreal, because, you know, I just thought that would be a cool way to go inside the mind of an actor and approach it from like a thriller angle if I could. So yeah, that was sort of the idea. And then I just sort of, the mirrors thing sort of was, you know, the symbolism was kind of all there. It sort of like all came together as a full idea. And I was like, well, that sort of all fits. So yeah, that was sort of the idea. It was interesting because at the time I was actually like in this dorm room, and I had this roommate who showed up on the first night. We got paired together. I was at LMU, and then he just like disappeared, never to be seen from again. So I had like my own room, which had its perks, but then I also was sort of isolated a little bit at LMU. It was sort of a weird semester where you know, I had this space to think and write, but then I was also like in this headspace, and like you sort of are feeling trapped in like a little, you know, cube in a way, a little box. So, you know, it was sort of, I think it's all like subconscious. It all sort of came together into this idea. But yeah.
Nice, man.
So, you know, Graham, I mean, obviously we feel like that, you know, when we're watching this movie, you know, a lot of things on your end stood out for us. I mean, one of the things for me that I thought was just impeccable was the callback audition, where you kind of fall into like this trance per se, where you're so engulfed in the role, obviously your own life, but you're engulfed in this thing. You know, what about
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to comment on that because, and I never actually told you about this, Graham, but so we filmed that from several different angles, and I was actually going to show Marcy's reaction. Like we had a bunch of coverage of that, and I was watching the footage, and I just thought Graham's performance was so riveting. I was like, I'm just going to stay on this one shot for like 2 full minutes. And I felt like, you know, and it's a little risky as a filmmaker to do that, but I was so taken by his performance and so like, I just thought it was so captivating that I was like, this should be the full unbroken shot. So anyway, yeah, I totally agree. And yeah, I'd love to hear.
So JC and I, so JC and I, we were watching it. And so obviously we're in 2 different states right now. I'm in Alabama working, and he's in Nashville. And so I watched it the day before he did. And I said, man, you got to watch this callback. Like, it was probably the most engulfing scene, minus the fact of the beard shot. Like, the beard shot's fantastic. but I'm telling you, like, I have talked about the callback audition probably every single time JC and myself have gotten on the phone talking to each other. It's like, it's almost crazy because it's like, you know, it's dialogue, monologue, one shot, one scene, just all pieced together. I mean, it's crazy because, you know, just like you were saying, Sasha, is that you never broke from that footage during that, you know, 120 seconds of scene. And it was like, you know, watching that, it was just engulfing, man. I mean, I really enjoyed it.
With that scene, it basically cemented in my mind, I'm not watching an indie film here.
Yep. I mean, I was taken back by that. I really enjoyed it. So, you know, Graham, I guess my biggest thing is when you were reading the script for this and when you were getting ready to audition for this movie, you know, what was it about this film that was like, oh, hell yeah, like, I got to do this? What brought you to Sasha, and what made you want to do this film?
Well, thank you so much for those compliments. I think I'm at my cap for now. You guys can just shit on me the rest of the time. I'll be much more comfortable. No, thank you so much. What brought me to it, I mean, you know, it was one of those days when I first auditioned that it was kind of in a week of like, you're just auditioning for things. And so, you know, I'm still in this position of, you know, you just audition, you hope you get it so you can pay rent, you know, kind of thing. And the thing that I do remember, though, is I remember that day because the writing was really good. And I don't mean to talk ill on anyone, but sometimes you get full scripts. Sometimes you just get kind of scenes that are just supposed to be exposition and, you know, move the plot along. Sometimes you're just the one guy that's like, he went that way or something. And so, you know, it's memorable because the writing is good. And so you go, this is very interesting, but I'm just going to kind of give it my all and see if it works out and maybe I can make some money. But then you get the call back and you meet someone like Sasha and you end up reading the whole script and you hear his vision, and that's when you jump into it. I'm very much someone that, of course, there's plots and movies that you're drawn to, but a lot of the time it's just the director you get to work with. It's you know, their vision and just wanting to be a part of that. So it was 100% Sasha, being able to hear his vision and then also read that script, and just the dialogue was so natural. You know, you do those monologues and it feels natural, and then you just kind of go, great, I'm just going to give myself over to this, and you know, and yeah.
Quick question here for Sasha, and then we're gonna get into our trivia round. We'll keep it. We're gonna keep it light. We're gonna go a different route for a little while. Sasha, what was it during the audition that made you decide to go with Graham?
Yeah, I mean, you saw it on the screen basically, because I think it's really rare that you get an actor who comes in and they're like fully equipped for the role, like that they're auditioning. I feel like, you know, I had so many problems on the box that were not Graham, but that were like mirrors breaking or like things
they didn't break in the film,
like
Sasha.
Special effects.
You do a good job.
Well, that was the problem, is, you know, we didn't want them to break, which is, you know, that's like almost a challenge in itself. but yeah, like there were so many things that I was like, I had issues with that were like scenes we had to cut because we didn't have enough money, or like things that just didn't work out. And it's like, I felt like I saw Graham and it was like, he just had it all. Like we had to work. We obviously did some, but like a lot of what he brought to the audition, it's like he was just fully equipped and he just was able to bring it to the screen. And like we were able, like I feel like Graham's one of those actors, like he doesn't need much time. Like I would be running around like getting the shot set up and I'd be like, Graham, are you ready? And he'd just like jump in, he'd like jump into character. It's kind of actually like an amazing talent.
I just have anxiety the whole time I'm on set. It's just anxiety. It's me just waiting in a corner like this until you say go.
Grant's got that high functioning anxiety, makes him indispensable.
It's good. It works.
It's amazing.
Well, guys, I mean, so right, exactly. So, you know, to keep it kind of light here, we're going to do something real quick that we normally do in most of our behind the horror. I know you guys are not strictly horror, but you know,
you're going to be today.
You're going to be today. Today's the day. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how knowledgeable of horror films are you? Graham, how knowledgeable are you?
Oh.
Graham mentioned Castlevania. Before we ever even got on video, Graham here says Castlevania, and I didn't even know what to think. I was just like, hold on, did he say Castlevania out loud? Like I haven't heard that in a long time.
I mean, it would have been the equivalent of me saying I'm always going to talk about Double Dragon.
Right. Like, what is that? Where's the Nintendo at? Right.
Right.
Like, so.
Oh, it's over there.
Oh God, Graham, don't tell people that. Okay?
When you come to Nashville, Graham, we're all playing GoldenEye when you get here.
Yeah. Yes. As soon as you get here, it's 007 all the way. So,
I'm in.
All right. So here we go. So, and basically what we have here up for grabs is bragging rights on how knowledgeable you are in film over Sasha, who considers himself the mastermind of all films. Okay.
Oh no.
I'm gonna lose so bad.
All right. So Graham, here we go. In what film starring Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman does a killer force one of his victims to overeat and die?
7.
Oh, okay.
7.
Okay, my man.
I knew he'd get that one.
Well, I had to kind of throw it out there. All right.
What's in the box?
What is in the box?
We had to say that. That was obligatory. What's in the box? We're doing
first
the box.
First off, Sasha, that was in my notes. Was what's in the box? Like that was my headline for this. But all right, Sasha. So okay, so I'm going to steer a little bit away from horror just because, Sasha is so knowledgeable of films. So in what film does Jim Carrey live a narrated life that also stars Ed Harris?
Graham's like,
yeah. Truman Show. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I was overthinking that. I love that movie.
So it's funny because whenever I watch this movie, your movie, The Box, I wrote the Truman Show / Saw whenever I was watching it. All right, JC, hit him with a throw your hands up tiebreaker. What do you got?
All right, here we go. So the winner of this, the first one who responds accurately, will receive nothing, but you get to say you won. So I'm going to spin my head around to the old horror collection and bounce a trivia question off of that. Give me 1 sec. Let's see. All right, I got it. What 1960 classic is about a troubled young man and his mother running a motel on the outskirts of town? Oh, Graham.
Psycho,
yeah.
There we go. Okay.
My man.
I didn't know we were supposed to raise our hands.
For a bonus point, which you get nothing for, but for a bonus point, who played Norman Bates in the 1998 remake?
Oh, why? I can see the face.
It's a great question.
Me.
RL, go ahead.
Would his name start with a V and his name be Vince?
Yes.
All right. Anybody?
Oh, Vince Vaughn?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Vince
Graham.
Vaughn.
I was like, yeah.
He said, okay, yeah. All right. Well, Graham, we're going to give you the grand prize of just being amazing. You actually don't win anything, but it was cool to watch you pretend like you knew about horror films. That was great.
Guys, this has been great.
I just feel like the ones that I like are so like outside of the typical kind of stuff, but yeah, I don't know.
You're still a big Paul Thomas Anderson fanatic, right?
Oh, here we go. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Let's see what else. What is it? The Life Aquatic.
No, that's
You're
Wes
into that
Anderson.
stuff? Wes Anderson? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got a few Criterion films up on the top row there.
His
Big
arms
fan of
are
those.
his arms are so long he can't even point at the right thing. All right, so so back to the film. I mean, this is something for us that we really, like I said, we've really been deep diving into indie films and just really trying to promote you guys and put you guys on the forefront, especially right now while there's no big movie releases, there's no big theater releases. This gives you guys like an even playing field as far as this is what's out there. And so, Sasha, just kind of tell us about like the film itself, where, you told us a little bit about the idea of the film earlier and how you kind of converted it from a director's view to the role playing view. But, in comparison to films that you've done before now, just tell us a little bit about how this one is a little bit better, what you were looking for as far as the way the film turned out, and then what our viewers can do as far as viewing the movie, where it's at, what we can do to see it.
Yeah, well, I'll start with that because people gotta give me money and pay for this movie now.
Yeah, they do.
Exactly. Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's on Amazon. It's all about money. No, it's on Amazon. It's on Vudu. It's on iTunes Movies.
Is there a physical copy?
I think the best deal right now is on Amazon. There is a physical copy, yeah, and you can buy that through Amazon. You can get a DVD for I think like $9.99. So yeah, it's pretty much everywhere that movies can be watched. But yeah, in terms of the other question, I would say like, yeah, you're always sort of trying to, I guess, outdo yourself as an artist. I think you're always trying to improve and do greater and better things. With this film, like, I'd done a lot of short films, like I said, but like the feature length is sort of, that's like the coveted thing that I feel like you know, everybody who's a filmmaker is trying to get the first feature done. So I've been sort of trying to do that for several years.
Sasha,
Sasha, my ADHD is
my
going
audio?
off.
do you have a dog?
Yeah, I have a dog. Yeah, I'm hoping he's gonna. So it's not my dog, but
Do you want to let the dog make a cameo? It's totally fine. We have time.
I would have to go all the way downstairs and come all the way back up.
That's the loudest
Screw
dog
that.
I've ever
Screw
seen.
that.
All right, but keep going. Yeah. So
I'm totally paying attention.
yeah.
He'll make a cameo in the second part. Yeah. Yeah. Long story short. Yeah, I just I was trying to do something that I thought could be really interesting. That's why, you know, I've always been fascinated with like special effects and movies that do special effects in an interesting way, like something you haven't seen before. So I thought the mirrors was kind of an angle into that, because you can, you know, the idea of an unbreakable mirror and to be trapped in mirrors, because we think of mirrors as these very fragile objects. So I thought, you know, if you flip that on its head and basically make it like a titanium style mirror.
Adamantium, like Wolverine's claws.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Exactly. Right, exactly. And just sort of see like what are the possibilities with that, and how would someone trapped in that situation, what would they do? So yeah, that was sort of my way into the whole story, and obviously I wanted to make a feature. So
well, and Sasha, you speaking of special effects too, that
yeah.
end of, you know, towards, I don't want to spoil anything, but towards the end of the film, you kind of fully see more mirrors, I could say, and that was all practical, and so it was like pretty trippy to be enclosed in that. And
I felt like I was in Enter the Dragon.
It was practically shot.
You're like name dropping the coolest shit.
I have to say,
I mean, you're gonna want to watch it, folks.
So yeah, we shot that practically. For anybody who's interested in effects stuff and behind the scenes, we did shoot that practically on stage, on the sound stage, and then we actually did a full CG like remodel of that mirror box, just because the first one, it must have looked cool for you, Graham, to be inside of it, but it kind of looked like shit when we pulled away. I'm not gonna lie. And so I was just like, you know, like that whole fix it and post thing, and I hate to be that guy, but I was like, okay, we gotta fix
it's
this
good
post. Like we
it's
CG'd
good.
the whole thing. Yeah.
All right, check this out real quick, Sasha. We're gonna cap this off right now. We're gonna have RL reboot us with a new link. If you could save this one for us, and then we'll reconvene.
Mind if I take a minute or two?
Yeah, no problem. We'll reconvene.
Awesome.
All right. Yes, sir. We're good.
All right. So, Sasha, let's start off with a little bit of what were the pain points that went into filming the box?
Pain points.
Nothing. Just
he's like, well, he's like,
rainbows.
He said, well, Graham, okay, and then we'll move
Graham,
on.
There was
like, mostly Graham. Can't stand that guy. Oh, hey, Graham, how you doing?
Oh, it's great for you to join us. Great. Yeah.
So good to see you.
Hey.
Exactly.
Yeah. The pain. I'd say the whole thing was incredibly painful. Well, I think as a filmmaker, you know, you want it to be so many things like you have in your head, and it's just such a disappointing process. It's sad to say, but it's like a disappointing process the whole way through, because you never quite get to, I mean, maybe some people do. I mean, like, you know, but certainly I think, you know, most people I've talk to, and some other young filmmakers I know, like you're sort of like reaching for the stars, and you probably don't quite get there, but I think but that's part of the process. Like you have to compromise. You have to lose some scenes that you loved when you wrote them, and then you're like, either this is unfeasible on the budget, or this is kind of stupid. Like there were a lot of scenes that I wrote that I was like, oh, I'm just so clever for writing, this scene. Like, and then it was just like,
can you disclose how much the budget was? What were we talking here?
Yeah, I mean, the budget was about $6,000. So, and that was comprised.
Did you edit, Sasha?
Like,
Sasha, hold on. Did you edit that yourself? Because as soon as you started mentioning dollar amounts, you broke up. So tell us again.
Just say that again, okay?
Tell us again what you were talking about there.
It was about $6.
I swear to God.
Okay, Brad, tell us how much the damn movie cost to make. Okay,
I got no idea.
Sasha, you broke up.
I need you to put up fingers, Sasha.
Just stop me. I'm gonna start counting. Just stop me when I get there. Okay.
It was about $60,000.
Okay.
Oh
Whoa.
God.
Jesus Christ. And so Graham made $50,000 of that 60,000.
Right.
So let's move on.
Graham's rent is paid up through 2 months from now in LA.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. No, but to go off of Sasha's point, it must have been, interesting, because the pain points of filming this wasn't just you directing, but it was also something that you wrote, something that you were producing.
Yeah, Sasha, you sucked as a director. He's just letting you know.
It's like later you edited it and did some composing on it. So it's like you're not wearing one hat with some pain points on it. You're having to be your own critic, like every single day.
So the reality. So what happened basically is I filmed this movie. I ran out of money. It was all self-financed, so I basically, I had been saving for like 6 years to make a feature film. And then, and that, it wasn't actually that much of the final budget in reality, what I saved. But so I received an inheritance in 2016 from my grandmother. She passed away, and in 2017 actually, and that's when I suddenly was looking at, and I'm like, well, I have money to do this feature film that I've been wanting to do for like 6 years, and I just felt like the timing of it was sort of like, I felt like I should just like pull the trigger. Like I just felt very strongly like I could wait, but maybe this is the best time. Like I'm in college, I have the summer off, like the summer was coming up, and I was like, let me just do this. We did it summer 2018, I think. So it's sort of lives off of that spur of the moment. Like I don't want to say the film was like spur of the moment entirely, but it was a little bit. Like it was sort of
the stars aligned.
I wrote it very, very quickly, and I was like, yeah, everything came together. But because of the speed with which it came together, there were also a lot of things later on that if I'd prepared better, I probably wouldn't have been editing for 2 years. But I feel like that was also like the passage through the valley of death that I sort of had to go through for 2 years, like sitting with this film and like, okay, it's staring me in the face, and I had to keep re-editing it because I just was never quite satisfied with the way it was coming together. And then with this latest cut, it's been such an interesting journey, because it's like, it's finally gotten to a place where I'm like, okay, you know what? Like I feel like I've actually I've gone all the way around the earth and then back again to like what the story that I was trying to tell initially when I wrote this thing. So it's, yeah, it's been a really crazy journey. And the reality is we shot for like 3 weeks principal, and then we did a couple pickup days a few weeks later. So in total, it was 5 weeks of any sort of production, not 5 full weeks of production, but like 5 weeks where anything was shot in 2018. And then, so that's basically like this really condensed period of time where we just got everything finished. And then 2 full years after that of me just like basically living with this film. So,
and Graham being like, when's this coming out, bro?
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I feel bad.
Graham's like, did I act in a film in 2018 or
like,
no?
Bro, I'm trying to put this on my IMDb.
Yeah, I know. Represent. Let's go. So,
I mean, the great thing about Graham is that he's a vampire and he doesn't age, so he looks exactly the same now.
For our viewers, Graham is actually 56.
First off,
32 years old.
First off, Graham, I want to say that once watching the film and now talking to you, is that there's no reason that you weren't the main actor in 13 Reasons. Okay, it should have been you.
It should have been you, Graham.
Have been you, buddy. I mean, you have all the dynamics. Second off, if we had more time, I would allow you to cry on set right now, and you would cry for at least 15 minutes because I know you can.
You show the world you can cry on demand, damn it.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen any one person snot and cry like Graham can for multiple minutes. And last but not least, Graham, so obviously you and Sasha made a fantastic film. We love it. We are behind it all the way. We're going to promote you guys as much as we can. But Sasha and Graham, what's next? Where can we see you guys next? What are we looking forward to?
I have an extremely small scene in a film called This Game Called Murder that's coming out with Ron Perlman. I am in a red Speedo and red heels, and
hell yeah,
I get shot.
I can't wait for that.
By heels from a cannon, and that's all.
Yeah, we're already sold.
We're already sold. No, I think for right now, it's just this was really great. I'm doing some fight choreography on a few short films coming up at AFI, and other than that, I'm just auditioning as much as I can. I was just trying to work. But yeah, Sasha, what about you?
Yeah, man. It's been an interesting year for sure, the COVID year. But I made a short film that just before the lockdown started, like a literal 3 days, I wrapped production on this film. It was absolutely bizarrely perfect timing. But yeah, I did this film called The Painted. It's a short. It's making the rounds at some festivals. It went to Sashas, and it's doing a few other festivals as well coming up. And hopefully that'll go online at some point because I want the world to see it. It is more like true horror, actually. But yeah, in the meantime, just sort of doing a lot of writing, doing a lot of VFX work, and trying to, get some music video and commercial gigs here and there, especially as I'm going back to Los Angeles. But yeah, it's just sort of doing my thing.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Well, here's how we want to wrap. So we'd like to start with Graham first, and here's how we kind of wrap these videos. You're here in Nashville. We don't have a little bit of we have up and coming actors. Most of the people do this line of work. Everybody plays, everybody sings.
Right.
We want to see more independent actors and filmmakers, and we want to see Nashville grow in that aspect. So we'll start with Graham, if you were to tell a viewer who is an up-and-coming actor, someone who's wanting to write stories and stuff like that, what advice, let's picture you're Tony Robbins for a second, get on your soapbox, give him a speech, what would you say to him?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think beyond a lot of the typical advice that you get is that something that would have really helped me early on is knowing how quickly this industry changes, and that even though you like people, like, I don't know, any actors that you love that aren't 20, they're going to have an extremely different story than what you are dealing with. If someone would have told me how quickly everything was going to change over to online media, that I would have to have slate shots, on all of my, kind of actors access kind of things, that, I'm having to invest in self-tapes over meeting people in person. I think it would have been a little bit easier to adjust and kind of not try to follow so strictly the advice of people who are decades older than me and who had already done it. With that being said, I think that advice from previous generations still holds when it comes to the way that you interact with other people. The fact, like, please answer your texts, please call. I know it's difficult because, like, I'm a millennial and I have certain trauma from that, but it's just like, it's really easy to not be an asshole. And I just want to see that in more people, because this is such an incredible job and you meet so many incredible people that it's just like, you can't waste that time being, with a bunch of bullshit.
Yep. No, agreed. I mean, that's one of the things that JC and myself, we talk about a lot, is that, when we structured the way that we do Brown Men Horror, is that, we're very open to the people that we work with. Obviously, not everything we do is going to be horror. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that we look for in indie films is that, we have noticed that you guys are way more perceptive and receptive to everything that we do. I mean, Graham, like, not putting you on blast or anything, but I literally emailed a link to the Zoom call 25 minutes prior to this call, and within 30 seconds you replied to, "That's awesome, I'll be on it." Are you available or are you not? That's one of the things that I've taken away from this behind the horror and indie film thing that we've done, is that you guys are so receptive and so matter of fact and on it, that I know I could text you 3 minutes before and you're gonna, if I say, "Hey, Graham, wear an orange shirt," in the interview, you're gonna wear an orange shirt and you'll be on there, 2 minutes early.
And I would say, do you mind if it has the Goku symbol on it? Because that's the only orange shirt I have.
No, we would not mind.
Graham, come on, buddy.
Here's the thing. Okay? Here's the thing. Here's what RL's saying. It's 2021. The industry has completely shifted over the past year and a half. Mm-hmm. Here you guys are, you're talking to a couple of schmoes from Nashville who decided to take it upon themselves, like, look, we want to support indie horror. We want to promote people. We want to interview these people. We want to deep dive into the lives of these actors and directors and let people know what it actually takes to entertain us and to keep us loving the genre and loving watching films and You know, what keeps us buying these physical medias? What keeps us watching? And I think we've successfully done that today with our interview with you guys, just like in our previous installments. Sasha, we'd still, I want to give you the floor. You're a director, you're a writer, you've gone to school. You know, there's people in high school right now probably that love writing short stories or want to be a filmmaker. In Nashville, we have Nashville Film Institute. It's a 9-month program. We're going to try to get partnered up with them soon. Same platform. You're Tony Robbins. Here's your soapbox. What would you say to someone who wants to be a director or wants to be a filmmaker?
Yeah, I would say you got to stay true to your voice. You got to stay true to like who you are. I feel like the litmus test for that is like what movies love. Like if you can name like 5 or 6 movies that absolutely inspire you, I feel like that gives you a direction. I feel like there's a lot of people, like I've met a lot of young filmmakers, you know, and that they're trying to like, they're really trying to like emulate like what's in vogue or like what's current, what's trendy right now. And I get it. Like you have to be aware of what's going on. And exactly to Graham's point, like I think you need to be aware of like how the industry is shifting and how the business is changing a little bit. Like that's important. You don't want to just be living under a rock. But you know, at the end of the day, like you're doing this not because you're trying to make money. Well, first of all, if that's why you're doing this, then you're in the wrong business. I think you should go to be in tech or something, because you'll make way more money than in movies. But you know, if you're in this business because you know, you love the art or craft of making films, then that's all you need. Like that's all you need to know. Like you don't need to worry about what the trends are, what's in vogue. You just got to be authentically yourself as a filmmaker, and whatever story like you feel passionate about, even if it's like the most bizarre or weird thing or highly specific to you or whatever, like someone out there is going to resonate with that story. It's almost guaranteed. So as long as it's true, like it has an element of truth to it, like that has been like the most important thing I feel like I've ever learned, because I've been through that phase where I was like, what's popular right now, like what's going to the festivals, like what's that sort of thing. I feel like I need to be more like this, or I need to be more like that. And I feel like every time I've tried to do that, it's led me in the wrong direction. Ironically, the stuff that I've made that has resonated with people the most is the stuff that, you know, I took a step away from that and just said, you know, what's a movie I would want to go see? So yeah, that's basically my advice. Yeah.
That's a good point. Making art that you would like to see is great.
Exactly. Yeah.
One thing
we hope that you both will remain true to your. Yeah, go ahead, Graham. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to ask you guys what your favorite horror film was.
Oh, thank you for asking.
That was in
Graham.
the email.
And
RL, go ahead. Take yours.
Did you pay him to ask you that?
So I am a very big It fan, but not It like now, but the original John Ritter, Night Court, all the way.
Yes, the original Tim Curry.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir. So I actually have on VHS the night that movie came out. I have it recorded from ABC Family with all the original commercials. So SpaghettiOs, like the whole damn 9 yards, like original commercials. I have it on VHS. It's freaking fantastic.
All right, I'm going to be a basic bitch and say that my favorite is
God.
Halloween.
Here he goes. He loves Michael Myers.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's good though. You know, it's like it's one of those things where if it works, it works. That's a great poster. It's like it's a classic for a reason, and you know we can all debate the merits of that. But I think both of those answers are fantastic.
Well, our passion is indie horror, and you know Halloween was made on a micro budget, and nobody expected it to do anything. John Carpenter did this movie to get to be able to make other movies. He wanted to make westerns, but he needed money. You got to do what they want, and he did it. And then, oh, whoops! Now people like this, and it spawned the slasher genre.
Exactly.
Damn.
So, Graham, what's your favorite horror film?
I've got probably my first one and then a strong runner-up. My first one that I always come back to is Thing, 1982.
Okay.
Nice.
It's great. I love the practical effects in that, and Kurt Russell has a fantastic.
I love Kurt Russell, man.
So good. And then my strong runner-up is Let the Right One In. The
okay.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alfredson's Swedish version. I'm a sucker for most anything vampires, and I think that is such a sweet film. And I just really love the dynamics.
So you're a big Kristen Swanson fan, Buffy. You know, you can't listen. Don't knock Kristen Swanson, okay? She was fantastic, and everybody knows it.
Everybody says Sarah Michelle Gellar, but I mean,
oh my God, she don't hold a candle, man.
She's real Buffy.
Wasn't Luke Perry in the original? Wasn't it Luke Perry and Kristen Swanson?
Pretty sure it was Luke Perry.
Oh man, I love Luke Perry. I mean, pre 90210. I mean, Jesus, come on. Sasha, what's your favorite horror film?
That's all before my time. That's hilarious.
Jesus,
you're so young.
Okay, cut this. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Sasha really loves Final Destination 5.
I did want to say, because as young as I am, although I don't think I'm that young, because I'm not even in the TikTok generation.
Oh, Lord.
But I do remember having those VHS recordings from the TV. You know, like I had Men in Black. I had a bunch of movies that my dad bootlegged right off.
Is he making fun of me, JC? Is he?
I'm pretty sure he just Big Willie styled your ass, man.
Like he just freaking Will Smith slapped me in the face. Like, holy Christ! Okay,
it's true. I was probably like 5 or 6 years old.
Stop,
but,
Sasha. Please just name your favorite horror film, okay? I'm on my way to Maryland right now, just so you know.
That's a good question. I'm gonna go with The Ring, Gore Verbinski, the American version. Which
I'll go with that.
Okay, so funny thing about The Ring, Sasha, is so my daughters. I have 2 daughters that are in college right now, and my wife will kill me because I'm mentioning the fact that I have 2 daughters in college. But the funny thing is I watched The Ring with my daughter who's a sophomore in college, and she literally freaked out. Like, it was like one of those things where like you see a mice on the floor and you like jump on the couch type stuff. It was very similar to that, but we stayed up for 48 straight hours because she couldn't sleep type deal.
Nice.
She's 20 years old, so I don't know what to say about that. But by far, love The Ring. Love I love The Grudge. I'm one of those guys that likes all the different films where like Ju-on comes in and all those things. But so thanks for bringing that up. My daughter will call me tonight once we post, and she'll be like, "Dad, why would you ever bring that up?" So thanks for that. You got me grounded. That's okay, but very good selection, sir. Very good.
Thank you.
JC?
I mean, I think it's time to wrap. I mean,
Yes, sir.
I think I really appreciate both of you. If I had to, just a final thought, if I could be Jerry Springer for a second and give a final thought,
Yes, sir.
I would say to the both of you, just please keep doing what you're doing. you're on the right track, both of you. You're entertaining us, a couple of Joes from Nashville, Tennessee, who love horror films. You know, I see greatness in both of you. I see that you're both passionate. You both take it very seriously. Our motto is, you know, we take our work seriously, but we don't take ourselves seriously. So I think that motto can benefit you guys as well. Keep grinding.
I love that.
Keep grinding. Keep going at it. It'll pay off because there's people that don't want to show up and work. Yep. As long as you keep showing up, you have a shot.
Exactly.
Thank you guys so much. I look forward to seeing more from both of you. And please reach out to us if we could be of any help to promote anything in the future, any endeavors. Message us. Like I said, if you're in Nashville, like I said, please hit us up. We want to go out, take you out for a beer, take you out to Nashville, talk shop. There's so much to do here. We look forward to the future and whatever that may brings for all of us.
Yeah. Thank you so much. That's such a beautiful thing to say and to end with. And I hope to continue to make more work that I can talk with you guys about. And absolutely, when I come to Nashville, I will be hitting both of you up.
Awesome.
To do all those things. That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Sasha Graham. Go ahead, Sasha. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this has been great. This has been such a fun interview. I've really enjoyed this.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
I mean, we really appreciate what you do. I mean, we are definitely here for our indie filmmakers. We're also here for any filmmakers. So, you know, Sasha, Graham, we appreciate you guys. If you guys need anything from us, let us know. We're here for you guys. And on behalf of JC and myself, we appreciate you. Keep making films. Keep it going. This is the third edition of Behind the Horror. Let us know if we can do anything else for you guys, and y'all have a good rest of the day. Okay, guys?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.